No toilets, no AC, and not much drinking water on a Navy warship at sea. New concerns are growing around conditions for U.S. sailors. It's time for the Streamline, everything you need to know in 10 minutes or less. We are learning the USS Benfold suffered a complete power failure in the South China Sea for 4 days. This happened about 3 weeks ago. 300 sailors on the Benfold had limited access to drinking water. They had broken bathrooms and also broken AC. The ship was part of the fleet heading to the Middle East to relieve the San Diego-based ship, the USS Lincoln. The Lincoln has also been at sea for a record 268 days supporting the war with Iran. The crew is also facing broken plumbing, food shortages, and reports of mental health crises. Some lawmakers are now calling for a clear path to end the war before approving any more funding. That includes a proposed $1.5 trillion Pentagon budget.
So far, the mission has changed and the objective has changed so many times. And then we could potentially talk about the funding.
Secretary of War Pete Hegseth denies there's a problem with the ships. The USS Benfold was towed to the Philippines for repairs. The USS George Washington is now en route to the Middle East to relieve the Lincoln. Here at home, Del Sur elementary students will finally return to the classroom next week, but not at their home campus. Persistent mold issues are forcing the district to move students and staff to Stone Ranch Elementary. The campus is about 2.5 miles away from Del Sur. Classes will begin on Monday, August 24th. That's 11 days after the rest of Poway Unified School District started school. Recent tests showed moderate levels of mold spores in 4 classrooms, the multi-purpose room, and also a hallway. Despite the return to school, parents are pretty frustrated with the delay.
They told us that there's not a lot of activities and summer programs happening at the school because they were going to fix the issue, but it turns out that they actually didn't do that.
Any parent understands her frustration. The district expects students to return to the Del Sur campus on September 21st. Officials are hosting an information session for parents tonight at 6:30. They will discuss the cleanup work and also the plan moving forward.
A Padres minor league coach has been detained by ICE at a Texas airport. Oswaldo Perella is the catching coordinator for the Padres minor league affiliate. Perella is from Venezuela. Now, his family says he's been in the U.S. since 2014 when he applied for asylum and has been going through the visa process. In a statement to ABC 10 News, Homeland Security tells us Perella entered the country legally in 2014 and was granted permission to stay until 2018. But they say he has since overstayed his welcome. Federal officials added that Perella did not have legal documentation on him at the time of his arrest. Perella's family says he is in the country legally with a valid work permit. The Padres says they are aware of Perella's arrest and are working to gather more information.
San Diego County is cutting ties with federal immigration agents, but the sheriff isn't fully on board. The County Board of Supervisors voted 3-2 Tuesday to end an agreement allowing ICE and CBP to use county ranges for training. The supervisors who backed the move argued that county property should not support agencies they say are spreading fear in immigrant communities. Sheriff Kelly Martinez says ICE has been notified it can no longer use the range for training. However, she is drawing the line at Border Patrol. Martinez says Customs and Border Protection will still be allowed to train there, arguing that keeping those agents close by is in the best interest of public safety.
And more police officers are being accused of misusing license plate cameras. More than 120,000 of these flock cameras have been installed across the country, including here in San Diego. The cameras scan every passing license plate and log it into a database that police can search without a warrant. At least 50 officers across the country have been accused of using the readers to spy on their wives, girlfriends, or exes. And the CEO of Flock is now changing some of the company's policies. By the end of the year, Flock will require departments to use a tool that flags suspicious searches and will automatically log out officers pending a review. The company will also delete data after 7 days instead of 30. President Donald Trump put a last-minute pause on a 50% tariff he threatened to put on Canadian goods. Roughly $20 billion worth of imports were set to be subject to the tariff beginning today. In a social media post, the president said the tariffs have been postponed for 3 days because of a new trade deal between the U.S. and Canada. Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney issued a statement saying progress was made, although he says more work needs to be done.
17-year-old Finn Renard took a dive into the ocean off of Mission Bay on his last day as a junior lifeguard intern and broke his neck. 19 days later, he's in the ICU and on life support.
Just please pray for him.
This is his mom, Courtney. She's devastated for her son and super thankful for all the support that she's gotten from the community.
I know I'm going to forget some of them, but particularly Emily Kuhn, Heather. We've even had Gartland come visit him, and the captain and lieutenant. Like, just everyone has been such a huge support and so wonderful.
A GoFundMe has nearly reached its goal of $60,000 thanks to over 350 donations.
I think people look at San Diego as this like big place, but I've lived here, my whole life until 5 years ago, and we really are kind of a small community.
Finn doesn't actually live in San Diego. His family moved to Texas 5 years ago, and he travels almost every summer for this junior lifeguard program. His mom says it's his favorite part of the year.
He's a character, super sweet. When they had brought him in, they were getting ready to perform the surgery, and he couldn't move his arms. He, I guess, told them to remove the mask, and he did, and he, I guess, told everyone in there, I just want to thank you all so much for doing your best to try to keep me alive. And that's who he is.
So if you want to help, we'll have the GoFundMe linked at 10news.com. In Mission Bay, Emily Coffey, ABC 10 News.
Wishing him a speedy recovery, and that's your ABC 10 News Streamline. Everything you need to know today in under 10 minutes.